And joining me in the studio is Florence.
Hi.
And hello, and we're reacting to the election in Mali.
That's right. Let's start in the region first of all. For instance, the Journal du Mali says that this is the first election after 18 months of conflict, and really the whole country was holding its breath until one of the frontrunners, Soumaïla Cissé, actually congratulated the future president, so Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, known as IBK. Now, he actually went to his house to congratulate him even before the official results were in, and IBK, he said that he was very touched by this. He referred to Cissé as his younger brother and said that this was proof that a new Mali was on its way. And speaking of a new Mali, Rue 89, a blog, actually has an African version called Rue d'Afrique, where they interview a Malian rapper known as Koulel. Now, this interview was before the official results came out, but he actually he wrote a song calling on people to come out and vote. And he said that even though this election was very successful in the way it was handled, it's really not the only worry that Mali has. And he says that the priority really should be to stabilize the country, to turn the page, to stop this feeling of insecurity. And it said that in the long run, what Malian politicians really need to do is restore trust. He says that there's really no more trust from Malians towards the political class, and so that's what Mali needs, is more trust towards politicians.
And the international papers are also reacting to the elections in Mali.
That's right. The Guardian, in their editorial, for instance, also applauds this election, which was quite peaceful, but it says that this is really only the first step. There's still a lot of challenges that are going to face the president. Now, chief among them is ensuring that foreign aid is distributed across the country and also, stabilizing the north.
And moving on to another story, the International Herald Tribune, it's focusing on the plight of illegal immigrants in Russia.
That's right. It's on the front page of the International Herald Tribune today, and they have a whole investigation into this. It all started about 2 weeks ago with the arrest of a rape suspect in an open-air market in Moscow. And, well, it kind of got out of hand, and one police officer was injured. And this has snowballed into a sweeping government campaign against illegal immigrants, even though the suspect actually wasn't even an immigrant. And the International Herald Tribune looks closely at this and says that up until now, at least 1,500 foreigners have been rounded up in what it calls these detention centers. Now, a large majority of these immigrants are Vietnamese, and this has drawn outrage from human rights defenders who say that the conditions are completely horrible. But the campaign itself has been cheered by a lot of the media and the public in Russia. And actually, the mayor of Moscow, Sergei Sobyanin, says that this is normal, seen as how this is an emergency situation. This is how the government should be reacting, according to him. But the International Herald Tribune points out that he's probably trying to defend his job here because there's going to be a race for the mayor again in September 8th, and, well, immigration is a hot-button issue in the run-up to this election.
Okay, and in the US, a federal judge has ruled that New York police's use of stop-and-search powers is racist.
That's right. This is after a class action lawsuit against New York City. This is the federal judge Shira Shendlin, and she says that the New York Times, the New York Police Department, rather, their stop and frisk policies unfairly target blacks and Hispanics. About 80% of people that they stop are either black or Hispanic. And this is a violation of their constitutional rights, and you can read all about it in The Independent. Now, she didn't actually ban the policy, but she said that the NYPD really had to change its ways. But The Independent points out that the mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, he has always defended this policy and said that it was one of the reasons that New York has managed to cut down on crime so much. And Slate actually looks closely at this as well and actually applauds this landmark decision and says, but it's curious, though, that it was a judge and not the NYPD itself that got rid of this, well, this is starting to get rid of this racist policy. And actually, Slate quotes the police commissioner, Ray Kelly, as perhaps being responsible for also defending this. Once upon a time, he said that he focused on young blacks and Hispanics because he wanted to, quote, instill fear in them every time they leave their house. So Slate says perhaps reform needs to start at the top.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Florence, with our International Press Review. Thank you. That's it for now. We'll have more news in a few minutes' time. Do stay with us if you can.